Formula One has reached boiling point, and nowhere is the heat more intense than inside the McLaren garage. With 14 races gone in the 2025 season, the team finds itself caught in a storm of rivalry, ambition, and rising tempers. On paper, McLaren's dream season continues. Two drivers locked in a title fight, consistent podiums, and race wins galore. But behind the smiles and the carefully chosen words, the battle between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris is threatening to ignite into all-out war. At present, Piastri leads the Drivers' Championship with 284 points, holding a slender 9-point advantage over his teammate. The Australian has enjoyed a phenomenal first half of the season: 12 podiums, 6 victories, and the distinction of being the only driver in the top 3 to have scored points in every single race so far. His triumphs in China, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, Spain and Belgium have underlined a relentless consistency, the mark of a potential world champion. Norris, though, is no pushover. The Briton has matched Piastri with 12 podiums of his own and claimed 5 race wins in front of adoring home crowds in Australia, Monaco, Austria, Britain and Hungary. Yet the crucial difference came in Canada, where Norris walked away empty-handed after a costly incident, handing Piastri a vital buffer into the standings. The team insists there are no team orders. McLaren have openly allowed their drivers to race, a decision which thrills fans but has the potential to backfire spectacularly. Already, whispers in the paddock suggest the atmosphere within the garage is far from harmonious, while Piastri publicly downplays the tension, insisting, "Our relationship is very good and I don't feel any strain at all." His body language after Belgium told a different story. McLaren insiders claim that Piastri's frustration is beginning to bubble, particularly after Norris questioned the team's strategy calls in recent races. The Australian, calm on the surface, is said to have let his anger spill over behind closed doors, an unusual flash of emotion from a driver usually known for his composure. "This isn't about friendship anymore," one paddock observer told Sky F1. "It's about who blinks first in the title fight. Neither wants to play second fiddle, and it's getting personal." What makes this duel all the more combustible is their striking similarity. Both are young, ambitious, and supremely talented. Both are also adored by McLaren fans, but only one can carry the title of world champion into 2026. The numbers prove just how razor-thin the margin is. Piastri's ability to maximise sprint weekends has been crucial, while Norris has shown his flair in wheel-to-wheel combat, especially under the pressure of his home Grand Prix at Silverstone. Each has delivered breathtaking performances, but each has also exposed flashes of vulnerability. For Norris, the Canadian crash. For Piastri, moments where his pace faded late in races. With 10 races remaining, the championship is finally poised. The smallest mistake, a poorly timed pit stop or a single wheel-to-wheel clash, could decide who emerges as McLaren's true alpha. And crucially, history looms over Piastri. Should he clinch the crown, he would become only the 3rd Australian world champion, following in the footsteps of Sir Jack Brabham and Alan Jones. Both drivers insist the friendship remains intact, even joking about building waffle towers on Thursdays at the circuit, yet the facade may not last. Formula One history is littered with legendary intra-team battles: Senna versus Prost, Hamilton versus Rosberg, and Piastri versus. Norris has all the hallmarks of the next great civil war inside a team garage. The question now is not whether McLaren can deliver a car capable of fighting for the championship. It already has. The real question is whether the team can survive the inevitable fireworks when its two brightest stars collide on track. As the season barrels into its decisive second half, one thing is clear: the McLaren garage is no longer just a base of operations. It is a pressure cooker, and when the lights go out this weekend, the whole world will be watching to see which driver comes out swinging. Whispers in the paddock suggest that McLaren team principal Andrea Stella is already walking a tightrope. Managing two drivers fighting for the same title is every boss's dream and nightmare rolled into one. On one hand, McLaren are back at the sharp end of Formula One, finally challenging Red Bull and Ferrari on pure pace. On the other, Stella faces the looming threat of a garage divided, with engineers and mechanics subtly taking sides in the battle between Piastri and Norris. Former F1 champions have warned of the dangers. "This is exactly how explosive rivalries start," said one ex-driver turned pundit. "When you've got two young lions in the same cage, sooner or later they clash. If McLaren aren't careful, one of them could take both cars out, and that would hand the title straight to Verstappen or Leclerc." For more breaking updates, fiery paddock rumours and inside analysis on the McLaren rivalry between Piastri and Norris, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe, because this title fight is only just beginning, and the next chapter promises even more drama.